Hallo, willkommen zurück bei The Zodiac Trial. Letztes Mal haben wir mit Ox und Dragon zusammen einen Klassenraum untersucht. Und dann wurde Ox vergiftet. Jupp, das heißt, er muss jetzt vor der nächsten Runde oder nächsten Runde, weiß ich gar nicht mehr genau, den Vergifter herausfinden und deswegen ist er weg. Und Dragon und ich, natürlich der Esel kommt zuletzt, haben uns selbst vorgenommen, ebenfalls ein wenig zu stöbern. Und ich würde sagen, wir haben letztes Mal mit Sheep, Monkey und Horse geredet. Und da kam nicht viel Nützliches raus. Und jetzt haben wir die Wahl zwischen Tiger, Snake, Dog und Bunny. Ich glaube, wir gehen zu Snake. Ich meine, Gift und Snake macht am meisten Sinn, nicht wahr? Also, let's go and try and find Snake. I mean, Ox was poisoned, right? Then it might have something to do with Snake. That makes sense, and I always thought that it was shady. When we woke up in the same room, he didn't panic, like at all. He could totally sentence another person to death without batting an eye. I don't know about that, but regardless, we should go find him. Hab ich keinen Sound oder so? Wo ist mein Sound hin? And just like that, we had our interrogation target. Ach doch, wir haben Sound. Ich würde sagen, wo ist der Sound hin? It didn't take long to find Snake. He was in a classroom on the second floor. He was in the same room as Rooster. Snake, would you mind if we talk with you for a minute? Ah, Mouse! What a nice surprise for you to join me in Miss McNamara... What? Miss McNamara's classroom. You may absolutely talk with me, but whatever about? Hold on a minute. Where the hell's Tiger? Her? I believe she's examining one of the neighboring rooms. You mean you're not all together doing the search? We're the system assaults. You guys have to follow it. Please, no need to get dramatic. I'm making sure that no one in our group goes too far from the others. However, allowing a bit of a spread improves the searching prowess by quite a bit. Well, I don't look good. Then you have my apologies. Now, you had something to ask me? Right, yes. Ox has been poisoned. That is not literally, but in the game. Someone has used some such trinket on him, and if he doesn't figure out who did it in time, he'll die. Do you know anything about this? Ah, yes. Ox predicament. Funny, he has actually already approached me about this. I suppose it is poison. I'm to be suspected. Ox truly has become a modern-day Damocles, hasn't he? Klar. A Damocles Hostad. Damocles was a man who wished to sit on Dionysus' throne. Dionysus granted a wish. However, due to a rather bizarre leap of logic, Dionysus had previously set up his throne so that a giant sword hung directly above it, held up by only a single horsehair. It was to represent the weight and danger of being king, supposedly. Stimme. After a short period, Damocles begged Dionysus to let him off the throne, having learned the burden of being a leader. However, the sword of Damocles more generally references to an inevitable seeming, impending doom. It metaphorically functions much in the way that the pendulum does in Poe's The Pit and the Pendulum. Okay, I got it. I asked for an explanation, not a damn English lecture. I was simply providing you an appropriate amount of context. I feel knowing the full story may let you further appreciate just how apt my comparison was. I don't give a shit about how apt the comparison is. I care what you know about Ox being poisoned. Now start giving me useful info before I start breaking things. Ah, well, then I'm afraid you will have to start breaking things. Unfortunately, I know nothing about this poison ability you speak. I don't know what it can do to help. Oh my god, I don't believe you. Well, then I don't know what to tell you. Snake, are you sure? There's nothing you know about it? You haven't heard of Kafka's toxin anywhere? Kafka's toxin, you say? Yes, that's apparently what flows through Ox's veins according to the announcement of this tablet. Why? Do you recognize it? I recognize the phrase. That's a very interesting name for Brian to have given the ability. Why? It references a very famous question proposed by philosopher Gregory S. Kafka in 1983. Oh, great. Is this another diatribe? He proposed the following puzzle. An eccentric billionaire places before you a vial of toxin that, if you drink it, will make you painfully ill for a day, but will not threaten your life or have any lasting effects. The billionaire will pay you $1 million tomorrow morning if, at midnight tonight, you intend to drink the toxin tomorrow afternoon. To be clear, you need not drink the toxin to receive the money. In fact, the money will already be in your bank account hours before the time of drinking it arrives, if you succeed. All you have to do is attend at midnight tonight to drink the stuff tomorrow afternoon. Naturally, you will prefer not to drink the toxin. However, if it's for $1 million, you're willing to deal with the pain for a day. Quite an interesting puzzle, is it not? Puzzle? Where's the puzzle? So you know what to do in this situation? And it's obvious. Just convince the dude you're gonna drink the poison. Then once you get the money, don't. But this billionaire is incredibly perceptive and will know whether or not you truly intend to drink the toxin. No one can say that with guaranteed certainty. This man can. As simple as it might seem, some people actually argue it is impossible to get the money, even if you would drink the toxin for it. Oh my god, what? Kafka claims that since drinking the poison is never to your advantage regardless of whether you are paid, no rational person could truly intend to drink the toxin once the money was received. Das stimmt. Ich meine, wenn ich das Geld kriege, ich werde sicherlich nichts trinken mehr. Ich muss noch kurz was einstellen hier. Ich glaube, das... Warte kurz. Klick. Ach, viel besser. Ich habe schon gedacht, wieso ist da so ein schwarzer Rand? Hä? So, besser. Thus, your only options are to drink the poison without payment, or refuse to drink the poison without payment. That's bullshit. Many would agree with you. In contrast, philosopher David Gauthier argues once a person intends on drinking the poison, one cannot entertain ideas of not drinking it. To him, there are three options. Drink the poison with payment, drink the poison without payment, or refuse to drink the poison without payment. Still, others have argued against this. Ich muss kurz trinken. Ich stimme Premium. Meine Lunge. Mein Rachen. So angenehm. Even if you fully intended to drink the poison, there's no way that resolve wouldn't collapse once the poison has been drunk. Wow. This is pretty interesting stuff. But, does this mean you don't have any actual useful information for us? Oh no, we clearly got some useful information out of this. We now know that Snake's trying to waste as much of our time as possible by going off about random bullshit. It wounds me that you dismiss all I say as random bullshit. There is no way that the poison was called Kafka's toxin without reason. It is a phrase simply to charge with meaning. I am confident that in some way, understanding the name's origin should provide you some sort of clue. Whatever you say. Come on, Mouse, we're done here. Dragon, just done with snakes in general, left the room without another word. Thanks for trying to help. Don't mention it. Kafkas Poison. Okay. Also es geht darum an sich, dass wenn ein Billionär dir sagt, trink das Gift und ich gebe dir Geld. Und du kannst nicht sagen, dass du es machen willst, weil kein Mensch das machen würde, wenn er das Geld schon hat. Das heißt, du wirst das Geld niemals kriegen, weil du halt dieser Deal nicht entstehen würde. Okay, spannend. Aber was hat das mit Ox zu tun? Also, er kriegt kein Geld? With that, I followed her back to the classroom we started in. Oh, well, that was a complete waste of time. I don't know. That information could be useful. You really think so? I slightly doubt it. Dragon sighed. She drummed her fingers on the nearby cabinet. What's the timing looking like? Well, it's definitely the 5th round already. But there's still a bit of time before this round ends. We have a bit more time to investigate. And after that, we're going to have to come to a choice. You mean about killing someone? And now, if we're wrong, we're just going to be committing murder for no reason. The person who poisoned Ox has to be one of the traitors' personalities, right? If we do nothing, we're just letting the person take one more step towards their objective. We aren't going to be able to get through with this without any violence. We just need to make sure that The violence is directed towards the right targets, so there can be as little of it as possible. Damn, that's cold-blooded. I didn't think you had it in you. How is wanting the fewest number of deaths to occur cold-blooded? Maybe cold-blooded ain't the right word for it. It's pragmatic. It's a very realistic take on the situation. I was just worried you were going to be one of those hippie, we need to get everyone out of lifetimes. I mean, I would like it if everyone could get alive. Yeah, well, that ain't happening. Not with things like this. I guess you're right. You said we had some more time to investigate? Yeah. Alright then, where shall we go? Ah. Okay, die Sache ist, Tiger hätte es machen können, weil sie war allein unterwegs. Wir gehen mal zu Dog. Let's go try and talk to Dog. That dude? Are you sure that's a good idea? I don't know if that guy's even paying attention half the time, and his life's on the line just like ours. You really think he'd be a good resource for info? I think a big clue is going to come from the Jade Emperor's seemingly mocking speech. We need to investigate who this tool of corruption is. Dog's an ex-cop, and he's friends with the chief of police. That makes him a good lead. Really? I know there was a reason I didn't like him. Look, let's just find him. Er ist euch bei Pig und Bunny, oder? We began to look for where Dog was searching. Eventually, we stumbled across him on the third floor. He was investigating the student commons. Bunny and Pig were searched together on the other side of the rather large area. We approached Dog. Hey, Dog. Mouse, Dragon. I guess you're here now. That we are. Neat. Not curious as to why? I figured if you wanted me to know, you'd tell me. If you didn't want, you wouldn't, even if I ask. Well, we're trying to figure something out. Do you know anything about Ox being poisoned? Oh, that whole thing? Ox was already here. Made a big fuss about it. And what did you tell him? Told him the truth. I've got no idea what's it about. Anything else? Nope, that's the gist of it. I hope that sorts out well, though. I like Ox. You seem pretty unbothered by a thing that's going to end in a death, one way or the other. Oh, I'm bothered, but I don't see what crying's going to do for us now. Figured it'd be more useful to continue a job. How about you told us about the chief of police? You're close with him, right? Bowen? Yeah, I know a thing or two about him. Why should I tell you, though? Because it could be really useful? I suppose. You know what? I'm bored. It's been too long since I've gambled. What? Nein, nicht wieder! Oh, ich hab Flashbacks! Nein! Nicht Glücksspiele mit ihm! Doc took out a pair of dice from his pocket and put them on the nearby table. Whoa, where'd you get that? There was a whole bin of them in those mathematics classrooms. Let's play a little game. A game? The hell are you talking about? It's pretty simple. First, I roll one die and cover it with my hand. Next, I roll another one. You take a look at the other die, and you guess if it's higher number or lower number than the one you can see. Guess right, you win. Guess wrong, you lose. If the numbers on both die are the same, I win by default. But hey, that's only a 1 in 6 chance, you know. Understand? Yeah, I guess. Great, then let's play. What? You're compass serious? Why can't I be? I'm bored. If Mouse wins the gamble, I'll say whatever you want to know about Bowen. Why can't you just help us normally? I'm a very private person, Mouse. You can't just ask me to spill private details for nothing. Besides, the rule of this gamble definitely favor you. So, you know, you'll probably win. I guess I don't have a choice. Alright then, bring it. Hey, that's what we love to see. Love the spirit on this one. I can't believe you're wasting our time with this shit. Kick his ass, Mouse. Okay, ich bin dabei, aber ich werde wahrscheinlich verlieren, weil ich schlecht bin. And like that, Doc began his waste of time. First, he rolled one of the die. It seemed like a fair roll. As it was coming to a stop, he slammed his left hand on top of it. Alright, my die is set. No? Let's see what your die is. With his right hand, he rolled the second die. Our attention was completely pulled in as it bounced up the end of the... Our attention was completely pulled in as it bounced up to the end of the table. It was a 5. Ah, damn. Not great for me. Well, for formality's sake, I guess I ask. Higher or lower? Die Sache ist, es ist wahrscheinlich lower, aber ich glaube, er hat eine 6 gewürfelt. Ich weiß nicht wieso, aber ich glaube, mit lower werden wir verlieren. Deswegen spiele ich jetzt das Gehirn, das ich habe, und sehe die Zukunft vorher und weiß, dass ich higher sagen muss. Higher. Mouse, what are you doing? Trust me. Dog looked stone-faced as he lifted his left hand. His die was a 6. Yeah! I played the game and I won! Big brain time, big brain. Well, how about that? Seriously, what are the odds? 1 in 6, I guess? It's not a matter of odds. It's a matter of Dog being a shady bastard. What are you possibly talking about, Mouse? Oh, don't play coy. This game was too simple, too dumb for it to be pure luck. You were definitely cheating, somehow, even if I didn't know the specifics. Well, you know, maybe when people's attentions are distracted by one dice roll, turning over a dice under your hand undetected isn't the hardest feat. You're fucking serious? You know if you tried to pull that shit in some places, you get shot. Which is why I don't pull that shit in those places. Just with strong cards. Anyway, you won the bet. Hit me with what you want to know. Ich wusste es, Dog ist ein Cheater. Boo, Cheater, Cheater. Okay, so... what can you tell us about Brian's case? Was there anything, well, off about it? There was plenty off about it. I'll tell you that. Rarely got such clear-cut answers as to who the killer is. That Morris guy really could have used a bit more time to plan a scheme. Are you certain he did it? Mouse, everyone's certain. It was painfully obvious. Still, it didn't stop the chief of police from going in on the suspect. I heard plenty from him about the late nights he spent interrogating the suspect. Morris didn't crack though. Never got a confession out of him. Did the Chief Bowen act strange at all regarding the case? Of course he did. It was his brother that was murdered. Although, I suppose his attitude did start to shift at one point. Oh! Yeah, now that I'm remembering, it was rather strange. As time went on, Bowen got less angry and more... what's the word? Antsy? He just seemed antsy about it. I remember I heard him talking to himself one night at the bar. He said something strange. Either way, I just need to put that brat in jail and publicly end this case. Yeah, that's not something a fair defender of justice is probably supposed to say, huh? I'd say... Thank you, Doc. That's exactly what I was looking for. Well, glad to be of service. You know, you're a surprisingly good gambler. I need to play you again sometime. If we both get out alive, I promise I'd take you up on that offer. Well, you know, a reason to try. Howsies. And just like that, Doc went back to his search. Dragon and I, we convened back in the classroom we started in. That certainly was insightful. Maybe. Still, even if we had a good info, it pressed me off to toy with us by making us play that stupid ass game. Dragon stretched out her arms and cracked her knuckles. After zoning out for a couple seconds, she looked back at me. So, what now? We're running out of time. I'm not sure we have much more time to investigate. At that moment, Ox entered the room. Oh, Ox is here. Hello, Ox. Found you too. That's convenient. Ox! Hey, would you mind joining me in the cafeteria as soon as you can? I'm trying to gather the whole group. Sure thing. If you haven't, input your actions for this round. I'm not sure how long this meeting will last, but it might go through the end of the round. Cool, but how are you doing with the whole poison front? I have made some progress on that front. There's a partial solution. What do you mean? We'll talk in the cafeteria. And without another word, he left. That was odd. Agreed. Let's input our actions for this round and go join up with the others. Got it. And so we did just that. As usual, I just pressed run. Then I went to the cafeteria with Dragon. Und ich glaube, da machen wir im nächsten Part weiter, denn das scheint eine große Diskussion zu geben. Und das wird eine Menge Drama geben. Aber das, wie gesagt, im nächsten Part erst, denn das lohnt sich besser, glaube ich. Und ich möchte ein bisschen voll spannen, was diese Lösung ist, die sie haben. Und vielleicht haben wir einen Traitor, mal sehen. So, das war's auch erstmal. Und ich hoffe, es hat Spaß gemacht, denn mir macht Spaß. Und die Stimme kriege ich auch noch hin zum Glück. Glück gehabt. Und dann bis zum nächsten Mal. Tschüss.